What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back here with some more Expedition 33 gameplay. And while I've definitely gone over the past few weeks of talking about how much amazing this game is, how much I love it, and how much I highly recommend people playing it, unfortunately, it does have one major problem. But fear not, it has nothing to do with the actual game. It's all the nonsense surrounding it. But also, this problem isn't exclusive towards this game. It highlights a bigger problem, because unfortunately this game is just the next one in line. And I have a high inkling that Doom, the Dark Ages, the game coming out next week, is going to be the next game that continues this problem. And it's not just exclusive towards games. It's exclusive towards basically all of entertainment. It seems like movies, shows. I think it's at its worst, honestly, in sports. So I'll give an easy example that a lot of people could understand. Because I think this problem is worse in something like the NBA. Regardless if you're a basketball fan or not, you're familiar with the whole who's better, who's the GOAT, Jordan versus LeBron. I'm personally Jordan. I think he's the greatest of all time in basketball. But even if you're a LeBron side, it doesn't matter. It's not about which side you pick. It's about how you go about it. Because whenever you hear people bring up the debate, even though it gets tiresome to hear because it's been going on for like 2 decades basically, the problem I've always had with it is very rarely you get someone to actually talk about it honestly. Every time someone has their opinion on it, it always seems like it's a personal thing. And what I mean by that is, in order to prop up one side, you have to bury the other side. Or in order to bury the other side, you have to prop up something else. It's never done honestly. Like, both of them are all-time greats. I don't have to invalidate LeBron's stats to prop up Jordan. I just honestly tell you why I think Jordan's better. But it's never out of hatred for the other side. And that's where it gets to this game. You know, Expedition 33 came out and it was getting all glowing reviews. People loved it. But then you had people that just took it way too far. People saying ignorant statements like, oh my god, this game is what Final Fantasy would be if it was great. This is, great. Means turn-based is back. Guys, for one, Final Fantasy and turn-based never went away. Yeah, you could argue, maybe for Final Fantasy the sales haven't been what they used to be, but it's not like we're going to sit here objectively and tell you that the games are absolutely garbage and terrible. And JRPGs, are you smoking something? There's been so many great JRPGs the last 5 years. Or turn-based games the last 5 years. I mean, didn't a turn-based game win Game of the Year a couple years ago? And weren't a few of them nominated last year? Like, where did it go? And then you can see where this is going to go towards being extremely negative. Because then people who obviously like those games, like, Final Fantasy or turn-based, they hear statements like this are going to be like, well, that's BS. And then they're going to go negatively against this game, Expedition 33, saying, oh, this game is overblown, overrated, it's garbage, you didn't do anything new, it's just the same old crap, I'm tired of you guys always dogging and talking trash about it. Which goes to my underlying problem. In order to praise something, people have to disrespect everything else, and then vice versa as retaliation. I mean, I cover Resident Evil more than anything else on this channel. I see it all the time in Resident Evil. I mean, if someone likes a Resident Evil game, it's like they have to invalidate all the other ones, and then people get pissed off at that, and then they just do the same thing but in reverse, and it's never genuine. I don't know if it's like some sort of inferiority complex or something like that, or just a weird mindset, but it seems like in the last 5 or 10 years this problem has only escalated. Like, I saw this like recently with the latest MCU movie that came out, Thunderbolts. It came out and people were saying, oh, it's great, it's awesome. And then came the Invalidating, where they had to, bury a bunch of movies in the past to prop this up. And I'm just thinking, okay, if you honestly liked it, it was a solid movie, I thought. But if you honestly liked it, why don't you just talk about, what made you like that movie in particular? Why do you keep bringing in other movies and having to disrespect them, put them down? I mean, how does that make your case? It seems like it's more something personally has upset you. Like, if I'm doing a review on a game, or I'm talking about a game, then I'm going to talk about that game. I might make a reference to something else, but my whole review isn't going to be predicated on I have to prop up something by tarnishing something else. I keep asking myself, where does this mentality come from? Because when I play new games or next new title that comes out, I always ask myself these two questions. One, did I enjoy the game? And two, was it worth what I paid for? And for this game, personally, hell yeah on both of them. But I never sat there and thought, I wonder if this is better than every JRPG or RPG or turn-based game that's ever existed. And if it is, does that mean that I have to basically invalidate all of them and say a completely ignorant and stupid founded statement that makes absolutely no sense? No. Not to mention, after this game runs its course, eventually, you move on. But some people, they just can't move on. It's like they constantly got to validate through invalidation. And that's never a good thing. If you have to prop up something by tarnishing something else, then it's just, you're not doing it right. You're not, because maybe that thing you try to prop up wasn't that good, or maybe you just don't understand what it is you're ultimately talking about or saying in the first place. And the saddest part about it all, and this might be the most important thing of this whole video, and someone hit the nail on the head perfectly online, is how do you think SandfallInteractive, the people that made this game, how do you think they feel about this whole, concept of this game is great, but it invalidates all the other turn-based and JRPGs in the past, because now they're garbage apparently to some people. Because the irony is that the people that made this game, they made this game as a pure passion project, but they pay a lot of homages to older JRPGs, like, you guessed it, Final Fantasy and some other turn-based, games in the past. Like, because they love those games, they grew up on those games, and they want to make games that have a few similarities, but also do their own thing as well. They paid respect and homage to a lot of those things, and they want people to play more JRPGs and turn-based games. But unfortunately, it's the community, not the cool ones, but unfortunately the loud vocal community that just, they can never accept a good thing for what it is. It's like they want it to be something. Well, hell, I'll use a line from Expedition 33. Sometimes you have to accept things for what they are, not what you want them to be. And it's like people want everything to be the utmost perfect perfectionist thing, but in order to be that, it's like they have to tarnish everything else. And that's a mentality I'll never personally understand. And as I mentioned earlier, this game is just the next one in line, because I almost can guarantee what's going to happen to Doom: The Dark Ages. That game will come out, and it probably get solid reviews. It looks like an amazing, awesome game. But you get those few dumb people that get online, they'll talk about how, oh my god, this is the greatest Doom game of all time. This is the greatest first-person shooter of all time. It invalidates every other Doom game's ever come out. They're all trash and garbage. And then the old school Doom fans will come in and be like, I don't think so, but that's complete BS. Your game is overrated as hell, and you just have this whole negative backlash when everyone's just forgetting the most important part about games is, enjoying them, playing them. I don't need to do this whole GOAT conversation, because I'm sick and tired of GOAT conversation, because everyone's different. We all have different personal preferences. I don't need to tell you which one I may like better than the other by going through a whole burial, campaign, like as if I'm, I don't know, John Cena from the late 2000s or 2010s, or Triple H from the early 2000s, where I have to bury people, or Hulk Hogan from the 1980s and early 90s, where I have to bury people in order to get my push. I don't want to go through all that with games. I'm here to play games, enjoy them. Some things I like a little bit more than others, but it's never a whole campaign of just talking about how, oh my god, I have to invalidate everything else. Because, I love Expedition 33, but it doesn't take away from all the games that came before it. And trust me, the developers themselves aren't going to take away from them, because they love those games too. But unfortunately, this whole validation through invalidation is just a problem, and it seems like it gets worse every single year. And so the last 5-10 years, this problem has only escalated, and it makes having a conversation about these things almost damn near impossible, because for every cool, awesome person you can talk about a game, it seems like you meet 100 more that they just go way too far, way too deep, and just way too negative, just because they have these, I don't know, like just personal problems, because they take these things so weirdly personal. They're games people. They're not they're not people. They're not your family. It's not that big of a deal. But nobody can ever talk about things naturally without having some hidden agenda about why this one is the greatest. It's the GOAT. Because there's going to be one greatest and GOAT and everything else just sucks. What kind of mentality is that? At that point, don't even play or watch anything. Because I'd rather watch a bunch of things that are great and just have this mentality that there's only one great thing that's the greatest and everything else just sucks. Because that's not going to be a very fun thing to talk about. But hopefully I made that clear to you. But that, as I always like to say, is my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. How do you guys feel about how every time it seems like something new comes out, and maybe it's good, not a question of how good it is, but it's like people take it way too far. It's like they go through this weird campaign obsession of talking about how everything in the past is garbage, because this thing is the greatest thing ever now, and then people retaliate and say the new thing is garbage, the greatest things already came out, you guys are just crazy, and then there's just this non-stop discourse of negativity to invalidate something through validating something else. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you all later. Peace.